Hello and welcome to our midweek episode of Enterprise Morning here on Enterprise TV. I'm Chinyere Igwe Odu, and I'm not alone in the studio today. I have.
And I am Henry.
All right. Let's quickly head into our stories making the headlines today. Our guest here is Floppy Bull Barrister Evans. Good morning, Barrister.
Morning.
Welcome to Enterprise Morning today.
Thank you very much.
Right. Barrister Evans, I'm sure you've seen the story about the explosion at Ikeja Cantonment. Coming 22 years after, is this something to be worried about?
Well, it's something to be worried about because 22 years ago we had a bomb blast there at the cantonment that left a lot of people dead and some injured, many injured. And over the years, one would have thought that by now the place would have been completely cordoned off from all explosive devices. Now, it is shocking to hear that there was an explosion again, how be it a mini one, or whether mini or big. There's a sense in which this smacks of negligence. Because when that happened, the police, the Army Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team, then in 2002, told the public that they have taken off all explosive devices from them, that people should not panic, they should go about their normal duties and all that. So it is surprising to see that you don't have another explosion. The truth is that the military is known all over the world for discipline. And if they issue a statement, it is taken as a testament, okay, because of the discipline in the military. But now we are no longer sure of what else to believe when we have been told in the past that that place is now devoid of explosive, and all of a sudden, 22 years later, there's an explosion. Could it be possible that there may be explosives buried somewhere around that area that is unknown to the military? Or could it be that when explosive devices were taken away from that place by the Department of the Army that's responsible for that, they did not get all the explosive out? I feel that there's a need to do what they call environmental scanning for explosive in that location, because you have successive military leaders, like they say, that a soldier come and go, the barrack remains. Possibly, they could be. This is for the purpose of safety, public safety, so that we don't run into what I'm saying now. What I'm saying now could be likely to negligence, because statements have been made in the past that this place is safe, and now they have attributed it to a farmer who is burning, some debris, and that led to the explosion. But the question is, why should you have an explosion in that particular place at this day and age? As at the time that barrack was built, that place was at the outskirts of the city, but now development, encroachment, and all that are, the entire place is all developed with properties and all that. And if you look at the Geneva Convention, 4 protocols of the Geneva Convention, the first protocol dealt wholesomely about public safety. That when the military, when they steal a military facility anywhere, there is need to ensure that there's precision. That whatever devices, explosive and all devices of military must be against military and not the public. So the purpose of having all that is to ensure that when there's a threat to our territorial integrity, then they should swiftly use that. It's part of military strategy when they move the headquarters or the capital city of Nigeria from Lagos to Abuja. One of the main discussion, the main argument then was that Lagos, being the capital city, can easily be invaded through the waterways by any other country. And once the capital city is captured, the country is captured. So whilst they were moving it to Abuja to take it away from waterways, part of the discussion that was retained was that the military armories, a huge chunk of it should remain in Lagos, having moved the capital city to Abuja. Okay, so that was responsible for why you have a lot of that within Lagos, because it is set at the seaport. But what the military should repose, we should have confidence in the military when they issue statements. But our confidence will be waned when they issue statement and we're having a recurrent issue. I think that is not very tight.
All right, so it's often said that there's no fire without smoke. And the question is, the public relations officer, Major General Onyema, said the cause of the bombing or the explosion, was as a result of a farmer who was cultivating the land, and because there was a fire set on a refuse there. Now the question is it possible to hold the brief that there might be a leftover of explosive in that particular area that wasn't removed?
But that is the case
at the time.
That is the case. And I also fought the statement of the military officer under reference, because I grew up in the barracks. Everywhere you have military armories, no one is allowed. In fact, in the barracks, the armory of the military is fenced within the barrack. It's fenced, and there's a gate, and you always have military officers, personnel there all day, because of the likelihood of a child or any person walking into the place who is not trained to handle explosive. So there, all the barracks will leave from Port Harcourt to Kaduna, from Kaduna to Lagos, or you will see that spot. And it's out of bound. Okay? So in this case, how a farmer will so cultivate the land to the point where it will cross over from a point that is allowed by every other person to the armory or to where you keep explosive, such that after cultivation you set the place on fire, and you are now. So it means that before now we were possibly stepping on those explosives. Why it did not explode was because we didn't have fires under our feet. That's what it means. And this is dangerous, very dangerous.
Yeah, so, but it's also, before we move over to the newspapers, I think it's very important that I ask this. In 2002, over 700 people lost their lives. The army said most of them lost their lives not as a result of explosive, but as a result of them being drowned in the nearby lake and all. And they are coming up to say there's no casualty. Do you believe that?
Well, that is from the army.
Yes.
That's expression from the army. The fourth estate of the realm, they are the ones who rely on for information. That's the journalists.
Okay.
You understand? So I should be asking that, is this true from your reportage or your report? Are there casualties? Because the army is saying, this is a statement from them that there are no casualties. Okay, so if we want to believe that, we can believe that. But if we want to prove further, we can as well prove further. Because the truth is that cantonment have not recovered from the number of persons that died in the last cantonment. If you go to Isolo, there's a mass grave, it's still there. A mass grave where they were all buried. Large portion of land where they buried all the victims. You understand? So, seeing that as a monument of anguish, one would have thought that the military would have been more diligent. Okay? Possibly, like I said before, there should be environmental scanning of that whole area, so that if there are any explosive left, it should be taken away now, so that we don't have a recurrent event in the future.
Very true.
We're not here to challenge the army or to disparage the army. No. What we are saying, that in the interest of safety, public safety, it's only logical that with their military skills and professionalism, they should know that these things should be taken, especially when you have international protocols. the Geneva Convention that deals with international humanitarian law, for which the principles apply to all countries who are signatory to the charter, for which Nigeria is a signatory to the charter. So that gives us the confidence to analyze this, that we know a law that we are signatory to, that spells out what the military should do when they have a facility where civilians are domiciled, rather. So that is very important. The military must do accordingly to ensure that we have public safety.
Thank you so much, Dr. Evans. Even though it beats my imagination to wonder why is the military not talking about the scanning that you mentioned?
Yeah, you see, they have a team, the explosive disposal team. Okay, they have talked about it. They said it in 2002. They are saying it again. They are not using the word scanning. I don't know why, but it's part of what they should do to ensure that everything is taken off.
Right.
Because when you use technology, forensic technology, to do a check, a scan of the area, you're able to get what is on top and beneath the earth.
Exactly, very true.
Yes, so you take it off the area because there are a lot of activities going into there. People are farming there, people are doing a lot of activities. So I think this should be taken care of.
Very true.
Right. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Evans. Let's now move straight to what the Daily has in offering for us. We're beginning off with the Daily Trust and just the masthead there. Electricity tariff to rise by 300%, Henry.
Yeah, that's very, very so not good. And the writer here says units to heat 200 naira from 68 naira. And the sub-writer there says Nigerians are overstretched and coming from CSOs.
And above the masthead, we have gunmen kill businessman, abduct wife, Lima in Zamfara State.
And on the bottom strip of the same newspaper, Daily Trust, that is, we have how realignment in bandits hierarchy of sport Kaduna's mass abduction.
And then still above the masthead, this appears to be some cherry news. Dangote Refinery commences diesel sale, pegs 1 million liter per marketer.
Yes. So, Barrister Evans, let's talk about the issue of electricity tariff hike in price. I know we had discussed this before now in other episodes of the same show, and the question is, why would we even be thinking or talking about increase in tariff when we do not have sufficient electricity?
That's how we behave in this country. You see, when it comes to things that affect everybody, they handle with levity and they just do whatever it is they want to do. I know power is not cheap. It takes so much to generate. It takes so much to distribute. Okay? But can you imagine that the discos and the gencos, they were so brazen, even with their failures and ineffective distribution and generation. They were at the pages of the newspaper not 2 days ago declaring profit. Yes, they're declaring profit with their ineffective service and all that. So they don't care about whatever it is you are thinking. Between 2000 and the lockdown was 2001, right? Between 2001 to date, they have increased electricity 5 times, the tariff 5 times. Now, they say 1 kilowatt is going to hit how much now?
It's going to hit 200 naira from 68 naira.
From 68 naira. So, you see, some persons will just have to shut down. Thank God there's prepaid meter. So, because now they want to make power a product that only the elite can access. Just the same way they have made a premium motor spirit to be that which the elite only can access. We have gas. You see the irony again. We have gas. Is gas used in this generation? So why can't we subsidize costs if we have the product, the natural resources for this? Just like we have crude. Or are there cabals also in that part that that are able to the gas, you are not refining it outside the country. You have the companies that refine it here. Indian companies, a lot of companies are here. You know, you are not exporting it. At least you are not exporting the crude of it. You are doing it here. So why can't we have partner with the experts, the ones who are flaring, will pipe it and use it to generate power, so that we can be able to afford to purchase it at a very subsidized price.
All right. Thank you.
That looks like the solution.
Okay. So still talking about solution, right? I'd like you to speak to the structural bottlenecks and incongruences around the power sector. I mean, for me, this is a clear case of malfeasance. Off the record, we're talking about what angle to actually look at this story from, because I remember yesterday on the show you emphasized the need to decentralize power instead of we are all plugged to the power grid that keeps failing. But I'd like for you to speak to what this will impact on small businesses, the impact of this decision. If it finally leaves this point to being fleshed, what will be the impact on small business?
No, you see, there's a law now that states can generate.
Okay.
Local government can generate. State government cannot generate. So this is a time when the discos and the gencos should have competition, because it is a monopoly that's causing this. Yes.
True.
It is a monopoly. I think the law is both generation and distribution. The new law right now, you understand? So if you have the capacity, the states should begin to put the legal frameworks together so that we're able to do that. Buhari signed that law before he left. You understand? So I don't know why the states have not started the implementation. But now that you are taking the cost to 200 naira per
megawatts.
No, kilowatts. Is it, is it
Kilowatts,
megawatts or kilowatts? Kilowatts, yes. So if you are taking it to that level, then I think there should be competition there, because what you have now is just different companies. That is for the discos. They still have TCN that belong to the federal government that are still in the game. So now that this law have been made, this law will repeal the previous. Okay, I don't know how they are going to maintain this private operation. Maybe they want the private operation to cohabit with the state-owned ones. When the state finally come up with a legal framework on how they will have to generate within this. So the people will choose whether to buy from the state, a national carrier, or to buy from private. Of course, the one that have a better service.
Yeah.
People will take. If your own is always very low, the state government light is very low, I'll decide not to use their own. I'll decide to use a private one, or I'll decide vice versa. Okay, so the solution is already there because the law has been made to that effect. But when you make laws are not enough. The state must be courageous enough, yes, to set up the legal frameworks for which they are going to do that and succeed. So if we have more, I don't think they were talking about 200, because if somebody brings his own down, that one will become just like the EPIs. EPIs have crashed. I was checking tickets last night, and I discovered that one foreign airline, I can't remember the name now, has brought down the hours about 850.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
850 naira.
That's great.
Was on 1.4, 1.6, 1.8. Because EPIs have the same thing.
For direct flight?
Yes. Okay. Direct flight. Direct flight to London, Heathrow. You understand? So what EPIs now have done, that is the example. If the states now have their own and they're able to work on pricing and say, you know what, the profit margin of this is okay for us. We don't need to go this because of the public. It will also affect these ones. Very and then you come to equilibrium.
Very true. You see, the truth of the matter is Nigerians aren't scared of paying bills, but where the problem is, do they have the right services for... So let's go to the Punch newspaper for today, and the headline here says, diesel price drops as Dangote sells 1,225 naira per liter supplies petrol by May. And yes.
And the rider, dealers get 1 million liters each at 1,225 per liter. Price drops in oil, Lagos over.
Yes, so we have an interesting image here of the Senegal president sworn in advocates Africa unity and security.
Right, just below the mast, Deputy CP found dead in oil apartment. Police digging through.
And we have another interesting story here. Federal government Interpol in talks over Binance chief's extradition. Yes. So I think let's move on to asking the very important question, and that borders around our diesel price drop in price. Should we be excited? It was hanging between 1,005 thereabout. Now it's gone to 1,225 per liter. Should Nigerians be excited?
Well, it's a good news, but that 1,200 is what they're going to supply to the market.
Really?
They will not sell 1,200.
Whoa.
So perhaps the profit margin they will have, depending on the market, since it's regulated, will be based on their own market policy. This is a clear example that the refinery can work in Nigeria. So
a moribund refinery can still work.
Whether it's moribund or not, a refinery can work. You understand? One is working now, we're discussing it. Products are ready. And by June, they will supply premium motor spirit. And I'm glad that there's a deregulation somehow, even in the premium motor spirit, because when Dangote finally come up with his own, he cannot be selling it for what we have. You can't sell it 600. You cannot sell it 600. So the cost of production is what they factor in, and their profit margin is why they arrive at 1,200, right? And so this one, when they finish cost of production and everything, by June, they will unveil to marketers what they will be giving to marketers. And I'm happy they are giving them equal. 100,000 liters, right?
1 million.
1 million liters to everybody, flat. That is equity. That is why you need to have more private institutions in the economy, because an economy will not do well until you have the right value chain, and you have the right people driving the economy. That is the
right policies.
Yes.
And on the lighter mood, do you think it's fair to say congratulations to Ahmed Bola Ahmed Tinubu at this point?
No, what did he do to the truth? What did Tinubu do? It's a private business. The refineries were ready before he was even elected president. So it's not a federal government facility. I will say congratulations to him when he go and put together all the refineries that are not working, and extend the seaport around the country. We are so rich. We have a gateway to everything we need. We have no business running like citizens from Somalia and all those places. We are a better place in the world than most countries will travel to. So, but because we don't have leadership, that's why we're stranded.
Very true.
Harry, this news makes me really happy.
Okay.
A kilo of chicken is going for 5,500 in my area. A kilo of fish is going for 4,800. But with this information, let's hope that things will prices will crash.
Well, we hope so. Even as much as we don't want to say congratulations to His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we expect more from him. Too much is given, more is expected.
Thank you so much, Brother Ivan, for all this.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Sincerely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, Henry?
All right, yes, thank you. So when we return, Ondo residents loot truck conveying food items. That in a bit when we come back, please don't go anywhere.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.